It has always been the mantra of Eastern Communications to see to it that businesses and families be better connected. So alongside making sure that we are able to give connectivity across the country, fast and reliable and affordable connectivity across the country, we make it a point, and our goal is to provide every Filipino with connectivity, because you know that that is needed for not just community building but also nation building. So what motivated us is, like, for example, we know that in the recent interview of our president, the new president, President Bongbong Marcos, he mentioned that being an archipelagic country, communities are isolated from one another. So we need connectivity so that these communities are able to talk to each other, to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. Also, we also note that there is a study that in the Philippines, around 40% of the Filipinos still don't have a meaningful internet connection, which is badly needed by the Filipinos in order for them to navigate through the new normal, number one, and also to be able to recover from the downturn that was brought about by the pandemic. So all this motivated us. And because of this, Eastern Communications has earmarked around 4.2 billion pesos, or a little less than $80 million, to be able to roll out in unserved and unserved areas, especially in areas like Visayas and Mindanao. No? So, but we know these are not, we cannot do it without challenges. So one of the biggest challenges that we have is because we are an archipelago, areas are isolated from one another. We need the support of the local government units so that we can enter all these areas. So what we did to be able to meet these challenges is that every time we are supposed to go to a particular area, we go there first to the local government units, to the officials. We explain what we can do and what our infrastructure can do for them that will enable them to provide their service better to their constituents, and what it can do also for the constituents. After explaining all those, lo and behold, they gave us their full support, they rallied behind us, and that is what made the project 80% completed as of year-end 2022.
The PDSCN, no, is a major component of Eastern's expansion. And it's really meant to expand to the new cities, no, or the new growing cities or digital cities, no, such as the Negros cities, such as Bacolod, Iloilo, Cebu, no, city, and the likes. No. It's really meant to provide additional capacity to these underserved or served areas, or not unserved areas rather. And it's meant to help the country and these areas, no, to recover from the pandemic and also fuel the economic growth. No. We also provide competition in these areas. No. As competition comes, you will also get better products and services, no, and even better pricing, if you will. Okay. And lastly, the Philippines is always hit by calamities, no? Typhoons and what have you. And this new route of fiber will provide additional resiliency, which is very important when there is a calamity. No? The first thing that you need to do when there's a calamity is really to be able to reach out to people, no, or officials who are able to help you out, and for these people also to find out what's going on in these badly hit areas. The PDSCN, or the Philippine Domestic Submarine Cable Network, is a $150 million joint undertaking across Eastern, the Globe Group, Infinivan. No? And once completed, the PDSCN will be the longest domestic subsea cable at 2,500 kilometers, no? Of fiber optic cables. No? As mentioned earlier, it will be covering many provinces and cities across mainly South Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Okay? And also, this will bring the much needed capacities, no, in these areas to fuel the growth in these growing cities and digital new wave cities.
That's a very good question. In fact, it's premised on the right condition, the right status right now of telecommunications in the Philippines. It's really very competitive, the ICT and telecommunications. So because we know the competitive nature of our industry, every year during our planning session, forefront in our agenda is coming up with strategies so that we keep ourselves afloat and ahead of competition. For the last strategic planning session, some of the key strategies that we've thought of is, number one, we have to accelerate market penetration, not just through market responsive and insight driven products and services, but also affordable products and services. We also strategize to be able to attain best in class product systems and practices that will enable us to promote our products and services that are both high tech and high touch. We would also like to, as mentioned earlier by Vince, we have this ongoing PDSEN. We would also like to maximize our investment in that by lighting up and operationalizing new areas. Those are some of the key strategies, and maybe Vince can add some more.
Yeah. Apart from this expansion in coverage, we're going through several expansions, if you will. One is an expansion, as Attorney I mentioned earlier. It's an expansion of our service going into ICT services such as cybersecurity, cloud services, and what have you. Okay. Next is also an expansion of the markets or segments we serve. Okay. Traditionally, Eastern has been an enterprise or would serve the top 5,000 or 7,000 corporations. But recently, we have expanded our market going into the SME microbusiness segments. You know that this segment comprises 95% or even higher percent of all the business in the Philippines. And next is an expansion of our relationship or our relationships. With this expansion of our fiber footprint, we have also touched base with the regional and local business communities and business owners. We try to understand what their challenges are, what their requirements are, and we try to address these by coming up with relevant products and services. Apart from that, with the help of our technology partners such as Cisco, Cloud Sigma, Sophos, we've been also sharing information, new technology, industry trends, best practices. So these local business owners are able to practice these industry trends or best practices so that they can apply it to their businesses and they're able to fuel the growth, especially in the regional areas in the Philippines.